Yo, 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 what's up, YouTube world? It's your boy Todd the Ambassador, man. Got my boy Caliber Marabi. You know what I'm saying?
What's up? What's up?
Collectively, we are known as the Fourth Round Podcast. Been a crazy week for us, man. Last week we had a 2022 Rap Battle Champion of the Year, Rum Nitty. You know what I'm saying? The other day we had Turbo from Breaking popped up randomly, wanted to do an interview with us. You know what I'm saying? And it don't stop, man. This next announcement next week is also very random, but still pretty dope name. But today, the focus is on the Midwest, focus is on the Windy City, man. We got a brother who is arguably considered to be number one, number two freestyler of all time, depending on who you ask, depending on where you're from and what you was doing in that era. You know what I'm saying? Has battled some legendary names, including Supernatural, Eminem, you know what I'm saying? Dose One from the Anticon Collective, you know what I mean? Continues to thrive, make a living, writing for other artists now. Former Scribble Jam champion, former Rap Olympics champion, man. We got an underground hip hop legend, man. We got my boy Juice out of Chicago, man.
Yo, how y'all doing, man?
What's good, brother?
Welcome. Thank
Shit.
you for being on the show.
Oh, absolutely. I listened to the intro and I'm so humbled by it because when you doing this, you don't realize that you're making history while you making it, or people gonna care later or nothing. You just be out to get it. And so when you do that and then you get intro like that, it's like shit, you must have got it then.
Yeah,
So thank y'all very much.
appreciate you, bro. Well, how you doing today? Let's start off there, man. How's Juice been, man?
I'm good, man. I'm real good. I'm just I'm in LA right now, and I've been out here for some time, and it's gloomy as hell. Like LA chose not to come outside and play, and then where I'm from,
Right.
and it's 87 degrees in Chicago, and it's like, oh, okay, a better day for murder. I get it.
Right.
It's cool though. But yeah, I'm laid back in the cut. Was up just writing and working, and then I was like, man, I couldn't wait to do this shit. I was geek.
Right on, man. Well, we're gonna start off, man. Give everybody some context, bro. Like I said in the intro, man, you're from the Windy City originally, man. If you could, man, just give us like a brief childhood background, man. Did you grow up both parents, single mama household, grandmama raised you? Like what was the household like, bro?
It was cool. So basically, I grew up. I was born in Chicago. My mom met my pops in St. Louis. So my other side of my family, my whole pop side, they from St. Louis. So it was mad urban. I could say that. It was just me and my mom. I knew my pops, and I was aware of him. But like he wasn't in the home. So I don't know, maybe around 10 years old, my mom was like, I was in the streets. We moved out to LA when I was 4 because my mom wanted to be like a singer, actress and shit. So we came out here to LA. And then I really didn't know my dad or know of him, but I started getting curious. Like I know I have another half. So I was like, I started just asking about him, and then I started fucking up in school. I was getting suspended. Cats was trying to pick on me, and this one time these cats was trying to kind of like punk me and shit, and I hit one of them over the head with like a silver lunch tray, and I got like suspended and expelled. So my mother sent me to live with him in St. Louis. Like, this dude is out of control. He's 11. So I did that for a year. Then I came back to LA with my mom, and I pretty much have been back ever since. So it was just like single parent childhood. She worked a bunch. We struggled a lot. We was always like living above our means. I kind of like that. And because I was always like, oh, marble, oh, granite, oh, oh, shit.
Right.
Like we probably should be like in our zone, but she would never stay in her lane. And it just made me who I am today. So childhood was real dope, you know?
Dope, man. I'm skipping a couple steps, but like I said, man, according to you on the phone, we got all day, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, we chilling.
I always want to ask you that, bro. Like, there's a lot of Juice metaphors or titles in the world of hip hop. We got the classic movie Juice. We got OJ the Juice Man. Rest in peace, Juice World. We got Gin and Juice, classic track. Man, how did you come up on that name, man? What was the origins of that name, man? MC Juice.
Well, my name is Terry. So when I first started, I wanted to be original. So I named myself T Fresh. I was like, nobody will get this one.
Right.
I thought I had bars. And then people started being like, oh, that's your name. So I was like, I'm gonna flip it to Fresh T. Well, I was Fresh T first, then T Fresh. And one day I was going to this little Taco Bell in LA in the Valley, and these two little kids like walked up to me, like I was like rhyming while I was waiting on my food, and they was like some New York kids. They was like 9, maybe 8, and I was like 12, 13, and they was like, who are you? And I'm like, I'm Fresh T, like, what you talking about? And they like, man, that's like, you rap real good. Like, we heard you like freestyling with your boy. Like, that's a horrible name. Like, what you mean? Like, that's, bro, I could be T Fresh. Like, all that shit. They're like, nah, bro. Like, if you was in New York, like, you should have a name that denotes respect. And in New York, like, if you got juice, you got respect. You should call yourself Juice. And I was like, oh. They was like, yeah, that's how you get your respect. You're not gonna get respect with the name. So I changed my name to Juice. And it's like everything started happening after that. Like, once I decided that I was Juice, it was like I was respect. Like, I embodied
came together.
Respect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came together like an orgy.
Yeah.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
All right, Cal.
That's tough. So you spend a lot of time, you said it yourself, like spend a lot of time in your early life traveling, moving around and things like that, like kind of getting the lay of the land, living with your pops, living with your mom's moving, all that. If you had to pick one place to be like, this is home, every time you go back or you have a little time to like lay over or whatever, which city would you say is like most like home to you, and why?
Cal trying to get me killed by the Bloods. I knew this was a setup from the get-go. No, I'm tripping. I'm a little lady, you know what I'm saying? Look, man, I grew up in LA, so from 4 to like 20, I was there. But then I went back to Chicago because like all my relatives was dying, and my mom wanted me to know my origin and my lineage, and like I fell in love with being from there. I fell in love with the fact we was underdogs. I fell in love with the hip hop we had. I fell in love with Chicago. I would go to the hip hop any night. I might see Fat Joe or Diggable Planets or Common or Raekwon. Like, our hip hop scene was fucking bussing. So I loved it. And it's like, I had a name in LA before I moved to Chicago, because I used to do like rap battles on a radio station out here, like 102.7, $500 a night. Like, you don't know who you gonna battle, a whole different world where you didn't get 3 months to prepare. You really had to show who you was, you know?
Right.
And so I did that, and I retired undefeated. And then since I did the Fresh T thing, and I'm gonna get back to the question for sure, but since I did the Fresh T thing and changed it to Juice, I was like, and once I won like unlimited amounts of times, I changed my name to J.U. Ice. And I went back because I was making $500 a night, killing these dudes from like the West Coast. So I had lineage, I had history. Then after I won that and was retired undefeated, I had to write for my boy, and then he won and retired undefeated. So it's like, but when I went back to Shy, I felt like I had an identity. Like, oh, I'm part of this movement that's not popping right now. I'm part of this place where there's hip hop and don't nobody know. Right. So I was like, oh, I need to represent this hard since I'm really from here. The trick was every time, since nobody went to school with me, nobody like, oh, he didn't go to Julian. He didn't go to Von Steuben. He ain't from the crib. Everybody labeled me a LA rapper that moved to Shy. Nobody knew I was really from the crib.
Right.
But slowly I started getting my respect because, like, you know, so I feel like Shy would probably be like what I would consider like my home. But in LA, it's the same thing. It's, you know, brothers I grew up with. You talking about junior high school, early college, you talking about, you know, but Shy is in my heart. Now that I know like where I'm from for real, it grounded me, I would say Chicago.
Okay. So as far as that, because you even claim it as home and your style is like, after listening to you for some time, it's like it fits where it needs to fit. And if you're paying attention, you can kind of pick up the influences. Do you have a region that you're kind of like, yeah, I lived here for a little bit, but like these guys from this area,
oh wow,
I would want to sharpen my teeth against them every chance I got. Because you said you ran it up against the Cali brothers.
Right.
500 a night. So do you feel like that about some of the, Midwest guys as well? Like you said, Common, I prefer like the Twisters of the world as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, Ye when he's there, when he's in his zone. But like who would you say? Like, dang, I would want to just battle all these types of guys if I could.
So it's crazy. So I would, if it was like old school shit, I'd probably just be like New York. Because to me, they started like the witty lyricism, all the cool shit, the swag, all that. I would want to do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like the New York cats, the East Coast influence cats, they crazy. But like in Chicago, like I came up with these dudes. So like, before Common dropped his album, he was coming to watch me freestyle every day because nobody could believe it. Everybody tried to disprove it. So he would come every day, and then me and him got cool because he was always, he was like cool cat on some gangbanging shit. So he would bring all of these four corner hustlers to the hip hop, and it'd always be some bullshit. Him and his man Murray, they was just wilding. So I was sharpening my teeth against them dudes. Like Common called me out one night, like me and my girl, we went to see No ID, and Common called me out one night, like, bro, hey, like later, Chief, like, hey, we gonna rap against each other, and that voice and shit. And I'm like, you sure you want to do that shit, my nigga? And he like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Let's do it tonight at the spot. I'm like, all right. So No ID drives us to the spot. Me and Common there, Raekwon there, like Ghost there. Like it's a night to remember, a Thursday night. In one of his albums, he said, I get plugged like I'm Postnews. Thursdays, I spot juice. That's the line about when we battled at the spot that night. Gotta go back. You know what I mean? So we did our thing. And, I gave him, I fucking spanked, bro. Like, that's my bro, but he know what it was. You've been watching me all this time. You thought I was going to, like, have a bad night against you with all these cat royalties. So really, and Kanye used to always walk around with Rhyme Fest. Like, we can beat you. I'm like, no way, bro. It's never going to happen. Like, you could own a plantation. You're not beating me. Feel me? Yeah. Not happening. I talk that way. So I did sharpen my teeth against them dudes. But if this was like the world, like I would want to battle like in the old days against New York cats like LL and Big Daddy Kane just to see how good I was, because they made me who I am. But I would want to see if I could dust them dudes. You know what I mean? It's just like now, like rap ain't no region now. You don't know where nobody gonna come from. You don't know where Clip's gonna come from. You don't know where Averb gonna be. You don't know where Swave gonna be. You don't know. And they can come from anywhere. So if I was doing it now, I would want the absolute best of the best for a lot of money and with judges.
Fire.
That's fair.
Have you had any offers? Has anyone reached out to you? Because we saw Jin come back recently versus Omac. And it wasn't like a battle. It was like a kind of verse for verse type of thing. So what did you think about that? And would you come back?
It's funny, Jen just hit me up. I don't know why, but if I'm Juice and he Jen, he should have hit me when Snoop dropped, right? Jen and Juice should have been kicking it the whole time. But anyway, bro hit me, and I didn't know about that. I'm real cool with Ilmac. Like I feel like Ilmac is like the next generation of what I would be doing to motherfuckers right now. I hang with him, we kick it. Like that's my bro. He be trying to be vegan and shit. It's weird, but we still friends. I don't know what I'm saying. I shouldn't put that out there. But anyway, man, I wasn't worried about none of that, bro. I wasn't worried about nobody. Like Ilmac, my dude. All them dudes is my dudes. I was just trying to cement my position in rap at the time. You know what I mean? I wasn't really knowing who I was gonna go against. Like this new shit, cool. But you get like 3 months to prepare, like 4 months. I don't know. I saw, who did y'all talk to? Was it Pass? I think when y'all was talking to Pass, he was saying he almost had a battle that was like he only had 2 weeks. And I was like, oh shit, like how you prepare? Like that's for me, like that's a world of time.
Yeah.
But for everybody else, it's like crazy. So I just I did sharpen my teeth against him, but I want the best of the best, man. Whoever it would be, it doesn't. I'm not as geeked about it as I used to be. That whole world, but like, I don't feel like there's a mind like mine anywhere in the world, and I feel like, after I freestyle, you just figure out what it would be like if I got a chance to prepare for you. Like, why the fuck would I not be able? Even if I couldn't write, if I could freestyle for 3 months and talk about you, I could pick the best lines out of there and have a cocaine party with you.
Fire.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel about it.
Dope. Is there anyone you would come back against, like not a battle rapper? Like it doesn't have to be.
You know,
no.
It would have to be for. It would have to be for a lot of dough, but I wouldn't. I would do it. I would beat anybody. I know it. Like I'm supremely confident in that. If I did come back, it would have to be because I got paid. The reason, you know, I love that whole world, but like motherfuckers still have jobs at Home Depot and shit. I'm like, nigga, I battle wearing an orange smock. It's amazing. Hey, where the lumber at, bro? Like, appreciate you, bro. All right, yeah, y'all got Drano. I know y'all sell Drano now. Lowe's sells Drano, bro. So I look at it like it just wasn't for me. Like I wanted to live a certain lifestyle, and it was like when I was doing it, I was headhunting, winning battles. But like these battles is a little different now. So I'm just like, you know, I just don't be into it. Like I'm trying to like forge a future and get publishing. But if the money right, we can get it. Let's get it. Shit.
Fire. Juice, I remember hearing on an interview several years ago, man, you were explaining the science of your particular freestyles, right? And you said that you feel that sometimes your subconscious actually hits before your conscious does, right? Like your subconscious is tapped and then your conscious is kind of back here, but your subconscious is kind of going forward. My question to you, bro, is like, how old were you when you realized that was going on, that you were just so sharp-witted? Did that come in conversation first, or did that come with the freestyling?
Time, man, that's deep. I don't know. I know that there was a time where I could channel and be the vessel for the entertainment, but not really be a part of it. Because if you're a part of it and you listen to yourself, you'll probably mess up because everybody's reacting. So there came sort of a transformation where I started not really listening to the freestyles. And I think that's when I started to channel like into the quantum. Because I was like, fuck, like I would say it, I would see it and then say it and have to be ahead of it and then not react to it. Because, you know, in a lot of freestyle shit, like the dopest line make you mess up. So I tried to get beyond that crutch. That was a crutch where I was like, man, every time the hottest line come, I mess up. So I just tried not to mess up and keep going and use it like as a historical reference point. Like if you listen back, damn, Juice had his dopest line and he didn't even stop rapping. And he made that rhyme would not happen. Whoa, like some shit like that. So like, shit, I think that really honestly happened to me more recently. I think that I was always okay, but I think I was doing just enough to win. You know, when I was battling motherfuckers, I battled Eminem, and Eminem went to his written rhymes. He felt I was so good that he had to go to his written rhyme, shit that he put out on an album and shit. But he wasn't good enough to make me go to mine. Right. Yeah. And then he kept saying that was fresh for some written shit, which is even a bigger
compliment. Then he kicked a written right after that.
Yeah. Absolutely. But then you're complimenting me, bro. Do you understand? You might as well give me a manicure. You like me.
Right.
Right. You telling me that you don't believe what I'm doing. The whole world don't. So you're really losing, because that battle had rules. You couldn't really write nothing. Mm-hmm. That was a rule. I don't mind the new rules. We could write all night if that's what you think you want. But I'm saying back then, like, he went to the writtens. It's like, bro, I already got you beat, like, mentally. So I went ahead. I go ahead like that. You know what I mean? But I just started going ahead of myself on freestyles where I don't know what I'm going to say next. These are not recycled thoughts. Supernatural one said, like, he think all thoughts are already there and you just recycle them. And I'm like, no, I tap into a place where it's shit I never said before. You know, I ain't never made Hammurabi Ram Kazi or Muhammad Ali Von McAli, but I can. Feel me? It just depends on where you take it from. So it's, you know, I just try to stay one step ahead of the game and not listen to what the crowd is reacting so I can channel and transmit.
Right on. No, Juice, you kind of beat me to it. Like I said, we're going to definitely get into the battle game like more in depth.
No, my bad. I thought it. I thought of that.
No, you good. But I was gonna ask you, brother, who are some other people that you've battled off camera? Like we know about Eminem and Supernatural, and we're definitely going to get there. But just out of curiosity, who are like maybe some names, mainstream underground cats that you had to smoke? You know what I'm saying? Outside of a club, backstage at a concert. Like who's some people you didn't have to put down, bro?
Man, like I said, I beat you to it. I rapped against Common, battle him. I battled Rhyme Fest. Rhyme Fest is a dope dude. Wrote Jesus Walks for Ye, like real dope lyricist. I feel like he's the like savant version of me and shit, just like the less attractive version and shit.
Right.
But he real sick. We had a battle against Disturbing the Peace at Soldier Field. Like I-20 and his guys came. I was with some street dudes, and they put up like 3-4 racks, and I just tore through motherfuckers. You know, most of the great shit though be dudes coming up like you, so you don't even know them. But it's always a dude outside of a club, like got his girlfriend with him, wore his whole jersey, but no, he shouldn't be hooping over here.
Right.
So,
Right. Talk to him, Juice.
Yeah. Them be the motherfuckers you really got to give it to, because people don't really believe it. Like, you know, with skill level, everybody think when they go to the studio, they really doing the most, or when they with their boys, because them niggas cheer. But you know, it don't be real all the time. But I faced some real dope competition. There was a dude in LA named David Drummond. I heard he does like Christian rap now. Okay. But he was my nemesis. Like he would haunt me. Like high school graduation, he was outside. What's up? You ain't shit. Like what? I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude? Like you see me here trying to do me, and every time I'm talking about like he was basically it would be like getting bullied right now. So I had to like up my game, and he had the simplest style, but he was just cold. Like one time he told me, he said, "You got the worth of a nickel, nutrition of a pickle. You think your style hurt, but it didn't even tickle. You ain't no star, man. I know who you are, man. You swinging off nut to nut. We call you Tarzan." I was like, who the fuck is this dude? So he was the dude that prepared me for all the other shit you even talking about. Once I could overcome him, I felt like, man, so I just adapted my style. When people start adding more words and vocabulary and shit, then I started adding it too. And when people start double timing, I started doing it too, just so I could make sure I was sharp if this ever came to that. So yeah, it's been interesting.
Dope.
That's rare. So you addressed Ty was talking about one of your quotes where you said essentially your subconscious kind of precedes your active conscious when it comes to just freestyling sometimes, and you followed up by saying you don't feel like your thoughts when it comes to you rapping are recycled. You see what I'm saying? You said that you just tap into like a different like multiverse type thing when you get into that pocket. With that being said, like I'm a music fan, period. All genres, everything. A lot of people don't know there was a jazz musician eons ago by the name of Thelonious Monk, who was really famous for not really doing a lot of, he kind of did what you did, more so with instruments though. Like he would pull up at performances, get into a real abstract improvisational bag. And I just wanted to ask, being as though like people like you, the Eminems who were from back then in that era, there's still a few guys running around here now who are able to tap into that freestyle gift. How do you prepare your mind for something like that? Because it's pretty easy to kind of like bring up like a written rap that you wrote 6.5 months ago and your brain just remembers the pattern. But when you're trying to do something right there on the spot, like how do you prepare for something like that?
I don't know. I think maybe the key is not preparing. Because I think like if you prepare, then you probably aren't open to that metaverse field, and you can't really channel thoughts from there because you're too busy worried about what you might think or say or who you will respond to. See, I used to rap like that. I used to rap where I just was like, oh God, like they could say anything about me. Like, what do I have to say? Like, you know, freestyling would make me very nervous because I would always have to prove it. Everybody else could just write a written rhyme, get a record deal. And they would always be like, okay, like she got a red dress on, she's a little heavy set, and her husband is a circus clown. Go, Juice. And I'd have to be like, all right. So I was limited, so I came into it limited. I'm like, I'm only gonna be able to rap about a limited amount of topics because they really think it's not real. And rather than watching a talent nobody has ever seen, they want to make me rap about what they want to rap about. So their fans think, oh my God, we saw him, it's real. But that really restricted me. So once I started going into my own world and just being like Harry Mack, dope, but it's got to be tiring as hell always rapping about what the fuck somebody tells you every fucking day.
Yeah.
Jesus. Like, what if you got a mind? Do anybody care? So I just started just wilding out, trying to go there and not recycle any thoughts. And that's how I prepare, is I don't prepare. Like, y'all are obviously about to be royalty and legends soon with this podcast. So obviously y'all could be like, yo, just so we know, Juice, like, can I just give you something to make, I have to do it. But other than that, I just be riding out, trying to be ahead of the game with it.
That's fair. So real quick, before I pass it to Brother Robbie real quick, we talked about, you touched on a few battle rappers that you said by name. You see what I'm saying? You said the Swave Sevens, the Averbs. You said you're cool with Illmac. Paid attention to the past interview, things like that. You said like 2 weeks for you is a mountain, like a world amount of time for you to like put something together. You see what I'm saying? Are there people that you see like the skill set where you're like, damn, that dude is dangerous. Like, I may need like 2-3 days for this guy, like just this guy, just the skill set.
I'm gonna be honest. When I first, there's a couple dudes. Pat Stay, rest in peace, Pat Stay. Just blew me away. Just with the mind shit, like crazy. And Disaster Disaster was like, he fucked me up. I was like, man, he's really retardedly sick. Like, short school bus, no teacher, sick. That's him. He actually hit me. I gotta hit him back. He hit me. He must have talked to Illmac or something. But cats like them, I'm just saying, like, the average mind I could probably prepare for. I don't think that applies to the savants of the games.
Okay.
I don't think. No. You're talking months. You're talking about, really what you're talking about is each battle is like Hamilton.
Yeah.
You're dealing with great production, a stage play, a lot of tension. The beat doesn't stop you. The beat don't even stop you from like messing up. If you know what you say, you can say it at your tempo, as long as you make them get it. Like, there's cats that this doesn't apply to. But I'm just saying in general. But like, no, if they was like, Juice, they want to give you $100,000 to battle like Averb, I'd be like, oh shit, all right, well, let's do that shit next February. You feel me? Because motherfuckers really be 1080p with it, sharp as fuck. So yeah, no, but I'm just saying in general, with like, with my mind and someone else's mind, I would pit what I have now here on the spot against most people's preparation. But the great ones, obviously, they stand alone. It's probably, with all the leagues, it's probably 30 people you could say right now. But the great ones, you better prepare. Remember how we was talking about how motherfuckers don't be in one of y'all podcasts, motherfuckers take the third round off or ask the crowd and rap about a horror story and shit like shit like that. Like, that's not gonna get it done against the great ones. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's a fact.
You mentioned a few names. Who are some of your favorites? Like maybe new guys. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with Easy the Block Captain, or like, who are some of your favorite guys out there?
They probably be older cats to y'all because, like I said, like when I first started watching it, I was dealing with like Loaded Luxes and Murder Mooks and shit like that. You know what I mean? Those cats are still great to me. I don't follow the newer cats. And I think maybe one of the reasons I don't do it is because I don't know how to follow rankings. Like, I like boxing, and you don't just box somebody and then nobody win, because then how do you rank them? So like, it's not bad because y'all show is the fourth round. Y'all around after. This conjecture, this open dialogue about it is classic. And like I said, it will be iconic and it will be legendary. But for me, you know what I'm saying? But for me, trying to compartmentalize it, like, I know if I like Terrence Spence over Mikey Garcia because of their records, because of the quality of opposition they fought, because of what the judges, I know that. So it's hard for me to follow and answer that question because I'm like, well, everybody seems kind of dope, but how do you rank it when it's over with? Like, what's the rankings like? Is there a belt? Like, are we talking? Can it be in Wembley Stadium? Like, is bigger money? Is it? So that's why I don't have the more current answer is really the cats that like came up in like the 2000s, like 2010 and up and shit that I really be fucking with. I'm sure a lot of cats is great now. Like I didn't know about C3 y'all. Y'all put me on. You feel me?
Fire.
You know.
So. You know, the last, how long has Champion been around? Like 7 years, 8 years? But they do give, there is a belt now, and there is a kind of a ranking system. Like,
okay.
Yeah, there is some stuff like that. So
it's needed. It's needed. Because it's really, really needed. To me, it's needed. It's great to do the improv shit or to have like a crowd and everybody talking about it, but it's really needed. And I don't think it's any less desirable than if there was winners. So I'm glad. I gotta watch the Champion League and shit so I can know what I'm talking about. But that was one of the reasons I haven't been able to follow, because I can't just follow every rapper who's in a battle. Like I need to know like who's really dope and who's coming up, what to expect. So that's dope. Yeah, I'm gonna peep them out, Robbie.
I'm gonna take it back a little bit, Juice. Back in like 96, 97, man, Company Flow released Funk Crusher Plus, right? Kind of set off the whole independent underground backpack movement. Everyone was kind of pressing up their own stuff. Not saying that they wasn't doing it before, but that really kind of set a lot of things into motion. You had Raucous, you know what I'm saying? You had like your Shabam Sadiqs and your R.A. the Rugged Mans and your Science of Life and your Natural Elements and these guys. I remember buying the Juice CD, man, 100% Juice at Best Buy for $14.99, right? Had a real simple cover, grape juice on it. I'm like, I think that's bro from Chicago, because I heard you on the CD on the Sway and Tech stuff against Supernatural, right? And I've always wanted to ask brothers this, man. Did you make a decent amount of money with those independent projects, man? Because I remember literally buying it and giving the cashier my money. I was like, I wonder how much of this is going to Brother Juice. You know what I'm saying? Was that more of a passion project, or were brothers really buying those tapes and those CDs back then, man?
At first, I was pushing it just like I had a CD that was out the trunk. My boy Risky Business, who's a hip hop historian from Chicago and also a DJ, hit me up like, bro, like we could probably, you done did all kind of stuff with all kind of people. You should drop a joint. So we drop it, and we pushing it, and then I get a call from this label called New Groove.
Okay.
And they were based in Oakland. And what was dude's name? Lucas. His name was Lucas, the A&R over there at the time. I heard this mixtape. We want to like help you put it in stores, and we want to do a 50-50 deal. And I was like, cool. And so, yeah, we did really, really good. It ended up probably moving like 140,000 physical copies.
Dope.
Yeah, and we had a 50-50 with the label. It was dope. I didn't spend anything on it. But that was another thing, is like, that's when you could do that. When people, if they liked you, they could support you. And thank you for the support too, Ty.
Absolutely, bro.
Thank you. But yeah, it trickled down. It was good. And honestly, like, I don't even know another mixtape that sold that much. Our BDS, our numbers on that joint was crazy. I don't know nobody who sold 100,000 that they could verify. I don't know nobody that could do that over years and years. And the shit is like the Thriller project. It's like people still be asking me to buy it and shit. I'm like, damn, I was thinking of putting it on vinyl. Like, what the hell? So yeah, it was a big deal.
There'll definitely be some diehard fans that'll get that on vinyl, but it has to be like a limited edition type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like really get the bang for your buck. You know what I'm saying? My follow-up question, bro, is do you find that people receive your music well, Juice, or do they always want to go back to the freestyle thing? Does that ever annoy you? Or have you just kind of embraced that, like, that's just my gift and that's what I'm strong at? Or do you ever get like kind of irritated when people doubt your music, or they may feel that you might fall into the narrative of battle rappers that can't make dope music, which I think is not true, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
How do you feel about that, bro?
Well, it's crazy because like during all this freestyle shit and all of this battle shit, like I was putting out shit like 100% Juice. Like I dropped so many projects. Like I think before he was Meta World Peace, I dropped this album called Tip of the Iceberg, and I dropped it, and Ron Artest hit me up like, yo, like I'm from Queens, like all my Queens niggas, Cormega, we love your music.
Dope.
And I was like, okay, cool. So, you know, it's a box. It's a box. Everyone has to categorize you. Because if you really battle like that and you really freestyle like that, and then your music is that good, then what ranking would you really have?
Mm.
So for MCs, they don't want to admit to themselves. There's a dude that will outright you and will clown you in front of your bitch and make a better record for somebody else. Nobody wants to think about that. That's a lot to unpack if you ain't on a vacation. So for me, I don't even worry about it. I came to LA to show that I was a real songwriter because no one wanted to give me that credit. If my freestyles ain't real and they're dope, then that means I'm a dope writer. If the writing is garbage, I'm a dope freestyler. But in hip hop, you don't see my name mentioned in none of the top 1,000, nothing. But I just don't feel nobody can fuck with it. Not me. I be around big time rappers with great minds who are like, who the fuck? What alien planet? Are you from Nebtar? Where the fuck are you from with that? So I don't worry about what nobody say. Ask Cash Doll and Big Sean, can I write? You know, I wrote some shit for her and that shit debuted 77 on Billboard. So I was legitimized as a writer. So if I was stuck on everybody else's opinion, which I'm clearly not, then I would have got over it at that point.
Dope.
That's fair. So we got a question from Mr. Slim in the comment section. The brother said that Budweiser flip you did against Eminem at the Rap Olympics, was that really a random flip or did you have that premeditated?
It was that shit was Marlon Rando, my favorite actor from the 30s. No, it was Rando. He had a bottle of beer. He was drinking it. I felt like he was getting like too much momentum because his written rhymes were dope and people weren't seeing the artistry in what I did. I saw this early. So when he drank the beer, I'm like, you drink a Budweiser beer? Bitch, I'm about to flip, bitch. You do whatever I say every rip. It's, to me, the greatest line ever in hip hop battles. How the fuck do you do that? Like, that's after his rhyme. Even if you had it memorized, how would you know he was gonna drink that? That means what? I had one memorized for Heineken. What if he drank a Beck's? What? I had a Pacifico line ready. Like, what are we really saying? Right. It was like, no, he said that and he got responded to. And at that point, he realized that all the shit he prepared for couldn't fuck with me. And that's when I saw his little face drop and I gave it to him.
That's real.
So, yeah, no, that shit was random. Ain't none of my battles, because the rules were never like now. I couldn't imagine if they told me I could write about somebody in them days. I would have clowned. So, no, it was random as fuck.
That's fair. So I got a question. We're gonna take it a little bit off to the side a little bit because I want to ask you about the more cerebral side of this. All righty. So since March, there's been a massive leap in artificial intelligence with things like ChatGPT that are able to write scripts, interviews for podcasts, even mimic artists so well that it damn near sounds identical to them. That's obviously led to a massive writer strike in Hollywood currently. With that being said, how do you feel about the implications of that in hip hop and what that means for the next era? If you're able to turn on your computer right now and hear a Juice song that you yourself know you didn't write, and you hear your voice saying some crazy shit, like, is that scary to you? Is that intimidating? Does that drive the value of what you do up? Like, how do you feel about that?
I think it all goes back to the de-empowerment of music. I think it goes back to the fact that I used to be able to sell 100,000 CDs and make $1.4 million if you paid $14. And now I have to stream it and you can pay $30 and hear 3 million songs. So it's already been compromised. Of course, this is the next step. If you don't, have you ever noticed when you go on an app, they be like, allow app to track or ask app not to track? What the fuck you mean? I have to ask the app not to track me? I don't have to ask it. I'm telling the motherfucker not to track me. But because we've given up our rights like that, this is the next step of that. So of course you're going to see that when Spotify tells you, you know what, Mariah Carey, Drew Hill, Rise One, and Atmosphere, y'all are all going to share royalties because they pay one membership for y'all music. So that's why my music isn't on those mainstream platforms just yet. I'm doing some newer shit, and I think it's too lit to keep off them platforms. But that's gonna be the next succession. The next succession is someone gets a live fucking license for your live hologram because you opted into it on your iPhone, and now it's a Juice concert in Romania, and I'm not even there. Exactly. But it's too late now because y'all gave it away. I don't care about any of that shit. Nobody can match my shit. I ain't tripping on what I be doing. So, you know, Ice Cube said he was gonna sue anybody. That was a quote. I'm gonna sue anybody who tries to use my name and likeness. But it's like, that's what it is. You're not suing Spotify. You're not mad at Tidal for giving you a quarter of a penny, but you mad at somebody for making a song. What's the next step? If you gonna give up that right, why is you mad? That's just how I feel about it. I don't see it as, I have a forward mentality, so I don't even really think about the past. I have to really go back to answer some of y'all shit. In the new world, shit is moving fast. Generations is 3 and 4 years apart. Like a 12-year-old can't really kick it with a 15-year-old like back in the day. So you better be prepared for what it is. It's just what it is.
That's fair. So you touched on that a little bit where you said with the streaming thing, like when it comes to the music rights, and ironically enough, you touched on it with the hologram side of things. I see a lot of things happening with a lot of younger hip hop artists now, to where they're essentially throwing their lives away. These brothers is dying. You know what I'm saying? All the while they're dying well within their first leg of their contract. The record label retains the rights. They're able to push that music out in perpetuity and obviously keep their likeness. With that being said, you thinking forward, where do you think the bar for quote unquote revolutionary artists will be 10 years from now, 15? Will it be something like, I'm not putting this shit up anywhere. You're going to have to buy this tangibly and put it in a player in your house? Like what will the revolutionary artists look like a decade from now, in your opinion?
I think they'll look like releases on vinyl. Mm-hmm. I saw Taylor Swift sold 80,000 copies of vinyl on her last album. Mm-hmm. That's insane. Yeah. That's physical product. I saw when Adele dropped, she didn't do any streaming. She made you pay the $12 and she sold 4 million copies the first week. That's a $48 million week.
Crazy.
Mm.
Because people don't know how to support you outside of their membership, which gets them access to everything. They don't know how. So you have to let people support you. So, you know, that's really the case. But I think it'll be vinyl. I think it'll be people selling 20,000 vinyls at $30 a piece, grossing 600,000, splitting that with the distributor and making 300,000 when you can get 5,000 streams, 1 million streams and not get 5 racks. How do you listen to my song 1 million times and I don't have a beach house? The ocean should be my neighbor.
Yeah.
But I ain't bitter about it. I'm just trying to figure out how to navigate it. And the way is, I'm going to offer physical product, because when I rap, people don't really care about it. They just want it. They're like, what is it? We like how you rap. The last songs I sent Ty, the first set, they was from vinyls that sold out in Europe as soon as they dropped. Like, it was so fast and people couldn't even repress them. So I see what it is. You can eat off this shit, but you can't eat if you're constantly in the mainstream. Not necessarily, unless you with a label. Then the label's gonna be like, look, Cal, we're gonna put you with Live Nation, and you know we're gonna give you 30,000 a night and give you 50 cities. You're gonna make 1.5 million, and then you like, okay, well that's why my shit's on Spotify. But if you ain't getting that, people be sharing their numbers like, I got 8,000 listens this year. It's like, bitch, if you don't stop, bitch. If you don't stop and do them damn extensions right, bitch, that's why you got 8,000 listens, bitch. You garbage. You feel me?
Oh my God.
Like,
yeah.
Like, okay, so like I write for Sweetie, right? I wrote this song for Sweetie. None of the shit that didn't sell, but I used to. And when she dropped, they said she sold, like, she scanned the equivalent of 2,000 units. A, if you work with me, obviously that wouldn't happen, baby girl. And I ain't tripping. Do your thing. But B, like, what the fuck kind of career can you make off that? Like, what? Where is the money? Who has the money, y'all? Is the question. Who has the money?
Yeah. I mean, the people who don't look like us, obviously.
Clearly, though. Yeah. But they don't have them. This is why if I ever enter the new battle rap world, I'm going to do it in a way that's going to ensure longevity, that's going to ensure pensions and publishing and merchandising and shit that just doesn't exist when you are in this urban enclave of mediocrity that everybody acts like they love but don't really support. These motherfuckers ain't owning houses off this shit, and they genius enough to. So I'm figuring that out. I'm with all the battle rappers. They amazing, but what the fuck is it doing for you? Fuck, $3,000. It costs you $2,000 to fly to New York and get the room. You pull the stack, you can barely buy a quarter brick. You can't even buy an eighth of a. Anyway, y'all feel me? So, wow. It's a great state, but it's a dismal state when the people who make the art don't benefit from the art. Like, I don't care how many views y'all get. It should be automatic. Like, it's commercials before niggas shit, even if they don't monetize with YouTube. So you telling me that I got 300 views and now people got to listen to commercials and they selling bologna on my shit. I don't even eat pork, but I ain't getting a couple dollars off that. That's what we're doing right now. I'm saying it's a big mind fuck. So that's what I'm trying to do is just wear a rubber. Y'all feel me?
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Dope.
It's a really unfortunate thing about the culture right now is that these guys are writing at such a high level. We just had Rum Nitty on, and he's writing shit that just blows your mind. And I'm pretty sure he still has to just work like a regular job. So it's just really unfortunate, and also that also means we're not getting the best of them as well.
Wait, what do you mean by that? I get to interview you real quick.
I guess
what you mean by that, Robbie? We not getting the best because their time is too devoted with a job other than writing that brilliant shit all day?
Yeah, I would assume so.
Right. That's
deep. That's what I meant.
Right. That's a construct. Yeah. Right. You work a 12-hour day riding a fucking forklift, but you writing shit that'll blow Johnny Depp mind.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's what I mean, though. That's what I mean is giving your heart, soul, and life to some shit that doesn't reward you. I won't do that. I'd rather rap at picnics and shit and family barbecues and shit if I'm going to just do it for nothing.
Earlier, you mentioned writing for people, and I heard some of your songs that reference tracks you sent to Ty, and it sounded so different from like your regular music. And I was just wondering, when you write these tracks, do you have like a person in mind, or like, oh, this would be like a Rick Ross song, kind of, or like this would be fitting for Big Sean? Do you have those people in mind when you write them?
Usually yes, because I'll go to like a label, and in this case, let's use Universal, and they'll be like, "You're about to work with this girl that's gonna blow up named Sweetie," and I'll have her in mind for a thought. Those were for a client, so he said he wanted some shit for Dej Loaf and Jacquees, right? So I was like, okay, that's really weird. That's crazy, especially with some of the tracks he gave me. But I was like, whatever. So sometimes I do, if I get to get with the artist, I usually pinpoint on them. Like when I got in the studio with this chick from Detroit named Cash Doll, who's starring in one of 50 Cent shows now. She bussin'. When I got in the studio with her, like everything I played, she loved it and wanted it. We did a joint that I told her to do, that she was gonna get Rihanna to sing on it. Rihanna sung on it, but Rihanna wanted $500,000 and Cash Doll didn't have no budget. But I'm like, damn, Rihanna liked my shit enough to sing the hook I wrote, and this broad rap the lyrics. Like, so if I key in on an artist, I could really do it. But I just feel like I just try to see like what the artist is on. Like y'all like Isaiah Rashad. We talked about him with Ty. Like they brought me into Universal to write for him. And I was about to write him the craziest shit in the world, but he had a little scandal and shit. And then after he had the scandal, it was the label was like unsure. Yeah, y'all know the label was unsure how to proceed. But I would have had bro lit. Like it would have looked like Christmas in Brooklyn, boy. He would have been lit. You got me, man. But I didn't get it. You know what I'm saying? It didn't happen. But yeah, I always think about the artist in mind. Like a dude, I wrote for this dude named Trilly. Yeah, Houston dude, made all his money in crypto. And shit, I knew what he was before he came in the studio. So I wrote this hook for him, and I said, "What you know about that money, boy? I'm straight paid. I bought a bitch a Kate Spade in the 8th grade." Shit was cold. So when he heard it, he was like, "Damn, you tailored this shit to me?" I'm like, "Yeah, nigga, that's what I do." So yeah, I'm in it. I don't just be thinking about me. To write for other people, you have to really want to help them tell their story. So you kind of can't really have an ego like in battle rap. You got to really be like, okay, this the label's putting money behind this. Like, oh, I got to help this motherfucker tell their story. All right, that's my job. So you stick to your job, you should be cool.
So, Juice, I want to backtrack a little bit on the late '90s battles, if that's all right, man. We had mentioned Marshall earlier, man. Now, I think the Scribble Jam thing is known. A lot of people don't know that you beat him again at the Rap Olympics, right? And I've always been curious to know, what was you guys' relationship after Eminem got on? Did he acknowledge you as the dude that beat him? Did he ever, reach out to you for like a feature? Like, you know what I'm saying? Did he ever reach back out? Because to my understanding, you got him a spot on the Rap Olympics, or am I mistaken?
I did. Okay. After we battled in Cincinnati, my girl Wendy Day from Rap Coalition, shout out Wendy Day. Mm-hmm. I told her, I was on the phone with her, like, yo, I battled this dude from Detroit. He the best. And she like, oh, it was your first loss? I'm like, no, I beat him, but I think he like the best. And she was like, what? And she told me she wanted to do the Rap Olympics, and I wanted him on my team. So there was a team battle and a personal battle. Just to clarify for the record, there's a kid from LA who I just spoke to. He lives in Vegas now, named Otherwise. And at the end of the battle, Eminem and Otherwise battled, and Otherwise beat Eminem. Okay. But I never got to battle Otherwise. So even though Otherwise really wanted, like, I should have been able to battle him because I was the champ at that time. Like, okay. That was how it was supposed to be set up. So yeah. I ended up on a stage by myself with nobody.
Okay.
So it was
wasn't
kind
it
of
like Thurston Howell and Wordsworth and those guys were kind of involved at that time?
Yeah, they were on my team. Like, okay. Wendy put together my team. I put together Eminem. She put together Thurston Howell, Wordsworth, and this kid named Questa Mad Lad. Okay. And these were some New York cat, like, the very cats that like influenced me. I got to like be with them and rhyme with them. And Eminem counted because he kind of had an East Coast flow. It was dirty as fuck, but it was East Coast with the rhymes and syllables. So we was crazy. We were supposed to battle like Razzcast and Cannabis, but none of the other team really showed up.
Damn.
Wow. I ain't saying they backed out. Razzcast know he my dude. I ain't saying he backed out. I'm just saying they wasn't there. Like, I feel like, man, it would have been epic. You can't really say you would have gave it to Cannabis because he too great, but it would have been something for the ages.
Yeah,
it just didn't happen.
That would be crazy.
I got two real quick follow-up questions, man. Now, many regard Eminem to be one of the greatest of all time, one of the greatest writers of all time, one of the greatest MCs of all time. If y'all was to rematch in 2023, what would be that outcome, man? Juice versus Eminem, man. 3 rounds, man. Talk to me, Juice.
Have him looking like motherfucking Ukraine right now.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, say that again, Juice. I didn't hear you, man. I didn't hear you, Juice. Say it again.
I would have Eminem looking like the motherfucking Ukraine right now.
Oh my God.
And the way we know this is the worst Juice beat the best Eminem at his game. So let's take it forward to me and Eminem battle tomorrow. Well, we're going to have different rules now. We know you went to the written, so we're going to have a rule where you can freestyle or write. So now I get to actually about Eminem right now. I have no weaknesses as an MC that I know of. I haven't been informed. They haven't given me a memo. I've been checking my email for years. So it would be very much worse. It would be more definitive.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's a great, I don't think none of these dudes can really fuck with him. Half these dudes have his style to me. So it's like, but he know what's up with me. He know how I get down. He knows. So that's why, few years ago, his people reached out and they was talking about doing a battle. They offered me $250,000. I jumped down, but then my dumb ass was going on shows fucking snapping out, and I should have been real quiet, and I should have been like, and the offer was withdrawn. Again, won't say they backed out. I'm just saying the offer was withdrawn. Could have used $250,000 moving around and shot how I was at the time. But
Sure.
no, I don't. I think it would be worse.
Okay, and then my last follow-up question on that. You and Supernatural, we haven't really talked about. Big battle, probably one of the biggest, greatest battles of all time. When we write down like everything that happened in battle rap, that's one of those, like top 3, top 5, because both you and him were considered to be the greatest freestylers at that time. I've noticed that you and Supernat seem to have like a love-hate relationship over the years, right? Like after that battle, like you both clearly respect each other, but y'all don't really rock together. Like it seems like you guys have never been friendly. If you could like delve into that a little bit, be as honest and transparent as possible, bro.
I mean, you know, we had different skills. His skill at the time was as a showman, and my skill was as a lyricist. And if you play rock, paper, scissors against a showman and you're just a lyricist, you're gonna lose. Because he has the ability to captivate minds and make people laugh, and he has the ability to control a crowd. Like he's innately great at that. But I have the wordplay. I'm Microsoft. I got the motherfucking PowerPoint presentation ready. That's me. That's my PPP, right?
Right.
PowerPoint presentation, right? So, I didn't really see a reason why we would have been friendly. We didn't really know each other before the battle. He accused me, like Eminem did, of writing my shit because he couldn't believe that his theory was wrong about random thought being able to be generated at a moment's notice. It just wasn't one of his constructs. He's like, I talk about a pen in a purse and then a mirror in a purse, and then I know what I said in Omaha, so then when I get to Ottawa, I do the same thing. And I'm like, nah, I don't give a fuck what happened. Every show gonna be different. I got 30,000 voice notes in my phone. None of them sound the same. So we wasn't gonna be really tight. I did walk in a club on a random Wednesday night, and he was with a band, and I mean, that boy got an eagle eye because he saw me in the back of the club, and he ran over to me like, "Yo, how are you?" And I'm like, "Hey, how are you?" He was like, "You look great." I'm like, "Man, it's so good to see you." He was like, "Man, we battled years ago." Like, he's like, "You want to get up on stage with me tonight?" And I was like, "Yeah," and we did, and it was like epic. I might send y'all some of that footage.
Yeah, please do.
Oh yeah, it was epic. Yeah. A random club in Santa Monica. So we wasn't supposed to be friends, you know what I mean? We was supposed to be that's rival shit, but it wasn't never no beef. Like if me and him was together and I don't know, my dude saw some dudes trying to take his chain or some shit, like it was never gonna happen. It wasn't no weird shit. It was just, I think, in the spirit of friendly competition.
Okay.
That's fair. I can understand that because I'm just like Ty and Marabi as well. Like we all kind of grew up watching whether it was like martial arts movies or like anime and things like that. It was always kind of like that friendly rivalry between like sometimes it's the main character or like his friend or whatever, to where their skill sets are kind of the same, but they just different walks of life in different ways that they apply it. So I understand that. With that being said, we reminisce, especially in our community that we have here with, the fourth round in IsWePoddin, and we have a server. We talk about some of the best rap beefs, hip hop battles and stuff like that. Do you see it now, like when it comes to the mainstream, as to where that doesn't happen as much anymore? Do you see it as like, okay, the temperature's changing, these brothers don't really want to smoke like that? Or do you think of it more like, well, they might be getting a little bit more money and don't want to stain their reputation? You just said the Isaiah Rashad scandal kind of hit a brick wall. So do you think it's more like a business thing, or brothers just don't want to die on camera like that? Like, what do you think it is? Hey, man.
Oh shit! I ain't never heard of that one. Damn, you fucked me up. Okay. Look, man. It's like Floyd, man. Floyd could have fought a bunch of fighters that didn't make money, but he didn't want to. He wasn't scared of anybody. He just didn't feel like fighting for some shit that didn't make money. If Lil Baby got a $100,000 a night gig, I told you with Live Nation, remember?
Yeah.
And he doing 40 nights. He ain't finna jeopardize 4 million. People clown you at your own show, you lose on the mic. So death by camera is definitely one of the potential hazards of putting your shit on the line. I did it just because I love the art form. I love not knowing what the hell was gonna happen or who I was gonna bump into and having to really come into that shit saying some shit. But yeah, I'd be worried about that shit too. And if it ain't no money, like, you know, money weird. Like if you make 30,000 a day, why would you prepare 4 months to make 10 racks?
Yeah.
But I believe some of the greatest people that we like, I believe if Fabulous make the same money he was making on tour, I think he would, or Jadakiss, I think they would give it to motherfuckers right now. I just don't think they have that interest.
That's fair. That's fair. My follow up with that, because you talked about your history of like writing for people and your insight, like you giving your perspective to us. A couple of months ago, there was a situation where there's a kid from Nowheresville, USA, making instrumentals in his house, and he would put them up on YouTube. What the trend now is to do like somebody's name, so juice type beat, so that people would listen to your style for years, months, everything, and then be like, he would probably sound good with this instrument, da 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 da, kind of like the inverse of what you do for people. And then J. Cole heard it because he was, you know, in the studio trying to get out of writer's block. He heard it and was like, fuck it, I'm gonna rap on this kid's joint and put it out to the people. The kid's numbers went crazy. Seeing how that impacted him to change the kid's life, you know what I'm saying, in the immediate future. Yeah. So do you think that more artists should do stuff like that, to where it's like, hey man, like this is effort? I remember where I was on the come up. Do you think it should be like that, or do you think people should vet things like that a little bit more?
Man, the quantum world tells you that all things are possible in the universe. Mm-hmm. So as long as you stay open to that, that's gonna happen. J. Cole is not closed off. If he was getting writer's block, he needed inspiration from somewhere, and he got it. I'm gonna put out this song called Home Soon, and I just heard this random kid on YouTube, and I was like, this beat is crazy. This is like, I think I typed in Rick Ross type beat. Yeah. Rick Ross and Drake type beat, and it came up, and it was so sick. And I was freestyling the whole song on the couch. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, damn, this is a great song. Like a dude asking this broad, is she coming home soon? Mm-hmm. So like, I think you have to do that. I think for the cats coming up, and they some G's. They be like, free beat. Yeah. It's free. Just do what you do with it. Yeah. Just do it. Ain't no samples, whatever. I think that's the way it's gonna push forward. Look, I wrote these songs for Cardi, right? And she's really in a tizzy about how her album gonna sound. And she got a squad around her, and they my peoples, I ain't tripping. But she don't always hear the best songs that would make her famous. She hears the songs that they think will keep them eating. That don't mean that's the best for her career. That don't mean that's the best for like a transition point to where she could sell out a stadium and not an arena. They don't get that. They're in it. So, yeah, I don't think it should be vetted as difficult. It should be easier for the great people to get their music to the top people. I was lucky because I came through a person that they mess with. Yeah. So, but most people can. I'm sure there's cats that write like me that can't get that. The best artists should always hear the best songs. So if you manage one of them and you're judging and they're telling you they like some shit or they don't hear it, you're doing them a disservice.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm not mad at that. Robbie?
Now, you're partly from Chicago, and I want to ask you, because Chicago has two pretty distinct rap scenes where you have someone like Lupe or Common, and then you have Chief Keef or King Louie and that whole drill wave. And I want to ask you, what do you think of that music? It's been around for like 10 years now, 12, something like that. So it's kind of stood the test of time. It's spread out everywhere pretty much. Australia has a drill scene, like Georgia has a drill scene, England. So what do you think about it?
So in our town, it's mad segregated. Like white people don't usually live around black people. Long story short, it's just segregated. The music is like that too. If cats is on the west side doing a show, the outside motherfuckers can't just go over to the west side and watch a show. So they had to develop their own culture. And West Side motherfuckers just can't go to Chicago. We'd be like, you a vice lord? What you doing over here in the folks hood? You can't be over here, bro. So like, the scene, I think the scene is like, people say like music defines the times. And I'm like, kind of, but really to me, it only defines the times when you looking back at it. Because then you can make a reference point. You can be like, oh, me and Robbie was chilling in fucking 2003 and we was listening to this fucking Ty record. But while you making the music in the time, times define the music.
Right.
Right.
I like that. I like that.
There was a need for motherfuckers who's getting their friends' heads blown off before they go to school every day. There was a need for them to tell their story because the times define the music. Only when we look back will we be like, 10 years ago, drill culture stuff. That's in hindsight. Ain't nobody 2020 when your boy got murdered. Ain't no hindsight. Barely foresight. So I ain't against it. If that's not your culture, I guess there's probably some Aborigines in Australia that'll stab you to death. Motherfuckers that eat raw alligator and shit, and go on crocodile hunts and shit. I don't know, but if that's not your life, it's stupid to do the music. But like in Brooklyn, they getting killed and drilled on some Pop Smoke shit. So like they have a drill scene. Georgia is a murderous place. So I ain't against it. It's again, a forward thinking. It's the evolution of the art. All the old heads is mad because they like, man, he's mumble rap and shit. These are your children. Your old ass. You mad because your child mumble, motherfucker? Where were you?
Talk about it.
Well, I'm saying you wanted a new Wu-Tang Clan. You didn't raise one. This motherfucker's a BD from South Shore and he ain't playing. He got the pitchfork tattooed to his fucking earlobes. This nigga's a fool. This your son. But you don't like mumble rap? You made mumble rap. You bred mumble rap. The city murderers. That's what it's gonna do. What they gonna talk about? Consciousness, red, black, and green necklaces and shit, and African clothes and shit. They supposed to talk like that. It's not how it's gonna be. So that shit is definitely needed because no one else would define these times for later.
That's tough. To your point, before Ty, gets his thing. You saying that? I think it was Daylight who said it a couple of years ago. In a bar where he said it was a moment in time he realized Black Power couldn't keep the lights on. And I feel like that kind of tied all of that together, what you said. Like my family from South Side of Chicago, they had their experience, grew up, they kind of taught me a little bit different because they saw that. I went to a lot of funerals. They went to a lot of funerals. You know what I'm saying? Life goes on. But it's like unless you put action behind intelligence, like the shit don't manifest wisdom for real. So I mean, just wanted to add on to what you said. That was fire.
Yeah, definitely dropping jewels, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button, man. Subscribe if you ain't subscribed. Juice, man, I got to
read Kate's question.
Yeah, Cade is asking, can you ask Juice about historic battles that happened and who he thought won with those battles? Which historic battles? Okay, Nas versus Jay-Z, Common versus Cube, Jada versus Beans. Excellent question, Cade. What's your answers, Juice?
Wow. I think Nas got Jay-Z because Jay-Z thought that he had a position of prominence over Nas and didn't realize that Nas was just doing what I be doing. Nas was just doing enough to win. He wasn't tripping on being the best, but he definitely wanted to be better than you. So when it all came down to it and Nas ended up doing that ether shit, what the fuck? Like it was nothing Jay-Z could really say about that shit. Because he had a verse, but then Nas did a song and he tried to like shit on Nas, but Nas stood strong. So I think Nas got Jay-Z in that battle. The Common versus Cube thing, I mean, he called Cube a bitch and he's still alive. So we know who won that battle.
Damn.
I'm just saying, you talking about suing niggas for using your AI image, and Common is a real gangster who looks like one of them Afro flower niggas who won't beat your ass and kill you. It's not what it looks like. I ain't even know who he was when I moved back to Chicago, but that's who he is. And then Jadakiss and Beans is tough for me. I mean, I feel like it was a tie.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't feel like any dude reputation was smeared or harmed as a result of it. But Jada has the more longevity. Bean's been through a lot. Beans used to be in Chicago a lot, like moving around, like fucking with some of the homies on some other shit. But he didn't really have the longevity. Like Jadakiss can spit a verse today, and it's still probably amazing. So, but I say that shit's a tie. But then if longevity was the tiebreaker, you would have to go with the Kiss of Death. Jadakiss.
What do you think of some of the recent ones like Push and Drake?
It's tough. It's that's tough. Like Pusha won, but Drake got the platform.
Yeah.
So half the motherfuckers that listen to Drake shit don't even listen to what the fuck Push said. When you do stock trading, you trade on momentum and you trade on moving averages. And if they were two stocks, Drake had more moving average momentum than he did. So with that platform, again, it's like he stuck to his guns and he's a dope lyricist, but Drake has the platform where he can just shit. It's like if you ask Drake and Meek Mill, but he like, is it a world tour or your girl tour? Because Meek was opening up for Nicki. Like, fuck, Meek just don't have a platform Drake got. Yeah. Not like that. Like, damn, how do you respond to that? I guess it was my girl tour, you faggot. Fuck you bringing that up for? That probably broke their ass up. Nicki was probably like, what the fuck you talking about us for? Like, what? And Meek's like, don't worry, I'm going to get him. And then Drake sitting back like, I'll take her too, nigga. So, like, battles is different now because it really depends on where you coming from. Like, if I diss Eminem now, that's, first of all, it was stupid because he's a friend of mine. Our daughters used to talk on the phone at Christmas and shit. We tight. Or tight as you could be with a billionaire rap dude from Detroit who don't like coming out the house. So it's hard to really say who won depending on what the fuck platform you got. So it's tough for me. But Push kept his lyricism. He was a better lyricist, but Drake did the supernatural to him. He juiced him. Yeah. He did what Supernatural did to Juice. He performed a little better in the public.
That makes sense.
Wow. Juice, I got 2 random questions for you, brother. You from the Windy City, man. What do you think is the best thing Obama did for black people while he was president?
Man, it's so deep. I think he caused a shift in consciousness. In any country, I'll tell you, in any country you go to, if you're black and you have melanin, you're a nigger or whatever their version of that is. Old Navy thought so. Comet thought so. Tyson Chicken thought so. Until you saw this fucking family running the country. And when you saw this family running the country and nobody got shot and the bitch wasn't cussing them out and there wasn't no baby mama drama and shit and the 2 daughters was cool, you was like, well, maybe we could have them bad. Nobody died. Oh my God. Like, they have value. So I think he changed the world consciousness. I think it's bigger than a position. I don't really get into politics because no matter who was president, I still had to work and grind. I never was a situation where it changed me economically. It didn't fucking matter whether I agree with your principles or not. But I think that's what he did. He made it where like they wanted families to look like him. Like you wouldn't see families like in particular. There's a company called Carnival, and they do cruises, and a company called Sandals. And they never ever have black people. Like first, it's gonna wear off if you show up on a beach with us. And B, we don't have the money to go on motherfucking vacation. So they never showed it. But after Obama, there were black families with little black feet and shit going on vacation. And it was like, oh my God, everything changed. Tanya, look, it's niggas. Like, oh my God, they on vacation. Right. Oh my God. So I think he did that. I think he made it where it was like, oh shit, he showed that you can be intellectual and still live in the country. Like when you see black people on the news, you don't see no intellect. If you're a black person, you can't really see yourself doing good on TV unless it's the CW and you the vampire or some shit. You know what I'm saying? It's all fucked up. You never see yourself as having value if you're brown. So he showed that if you're brown, you can have value in the country and you can contribute and you can be a part of it. And the way he really proved that is by winning again. The same white motherfuckers had to be like, there's something really good about this guy. I mean, the rest of them chew corn, but this guy right here, this Barack, what's his name? Barack.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I think he did for us as a people. He made it where the average trucker who hate me thinks that nigga might be president one day.
Dope. All right. And my follow-up random question, man. Now I think you could appreciate this one, Juice. You from the old era.
All y'all questions, just so y'all know.
Thank you.
Man, we appreciate you, brother. You've been a blessing to us.
Yeah, it's both ways. We're gonna be at a bar somewhere in the country of Georgia and do this podcast live, and we're gonna make Robbie pay for it. I can see you.
I'm down with it. I'm down with it.
All right, but what's your question? I'm tripping.
Juice, you from a older era. I ain't gonna say the old era, but older era. And you mentioned really you name dropped some like days.
No, I'm
past,
just saying that's
right.
No. You gotta say it, but I'm just telling people that if someone's older than you, it doesn't mean that that's negative. It means that if you fuck with them and they really fuck with you, you get. No, I'm just saying for people, not y'all. For people, if someone's older than you and you can get around them, whether it's your grandma or your aunt or a dope lyricist or a mentor, take the knowledge from them because they're gonna give you a shortcut in life. Don't always see it as negative. So yeah, I'm from a fucking older era.
Okay, thank you for that, Jim, man. You being from the older era and you've name dropped some newer artists, Isaiah Rashad, Sweetie, Cardi B, etc. So I know you're hip. You know, you stay well read and you stay kind of informed about what's going on, like numbers, statistics, trends, influences, fashions, all that stuff, right? We had this debate a couple months ago, man, and I want to hear from an OG. Who do you think was more influential, man? Wu-Tang Clan or the Migos?
Oh, wow. That we should do a different show like this, but my
definitely
mind
bring you back up.
Yeah, I mean, we should do. I mean, we might need.
Come on, Juice. You the freestyler, man. Come on, man. Give us that quick wit, man. Let's go.
Well, listen. You blew my mind. So that's amazing. If you ever get me where I can't talk, you're amazing. Most of my friends aren't around because I won't stop talking. So this is amazing. They've never seen Juice stumped or at a loss for words.
Dope.
Damn, that's tough. All right, so the Wu-Tang came in the 90s. And they influenced the world, but I don't think they influenced the world the same way the Migos did. The reason why is because very little of the Wu-Tang shit went pop. So they had influence and they ended up influencing pop culture, but not with pop music. So that's a deep thing to unravel. Is these motherfuckers they impressed upon pop culture without making pop music. But the Migos showed that hood music is pop music and could be pop culture. That's deep. So it's like you would never hear a Wu-Tang and Migo record side by side because Wu-Tang don't fit the mold of that pop shit. And to their credit, they didn't want to. They got they shoes and underwear and TJ Maxx. They can give a fuck about what the radio thinks. Right. But I'm just talking about the bigger influence. I feel like more dudes is trying to rap like the Migos than was the Wu-Tang because you knew how the Wu-Tang rap. And if you sound like them, niggas would say you was biting anyway. Like, you ain't original. You sound like Meth, or you sound like Raekwon, or you sound like Ghost. Like how they say Action Bronson sound like Ghostface. That kind of shit, I'm saying. Right. Ghostface like, nah, he don't sound like me because Ghostface is comfortable letting everybody else say it. You know what's up. So I'm just saying, I think it might be the Migos. But they cut their own shit short. Right? They haven't really done enough for us to know what the long-term effects of them would have been. Because now motherfuckers is not here on the earth. The homie took off. Right. So how do we know what they would have been in 10 years? We don't. So even though it looked popping in the moment, I guess now I'm vacillating between both. I guess you got to go with the Wu-Tang, but it's only because Migos don't have a big enough body of work. You can't do 4-5 albums and 2 mixtapes and be the woo. I needed to see y'all selling out everything. You know what I mean? And now I never see that. That breaks my heart. But
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace, brother, man.
Bro took off. But I have to say that Wu-Tang over the long term, because isn't part of influence that you had a big enough body of work? It's like how Tracy McGrady could have been maybe like Vince Carter or Jordan, but he was always hurt. Isn't part of being great that you had to be there, that you had to show up and play the game?
Yeah.
That's part of being great. If you're not there, the Migos are nothing without, not nothing, but they feel like they're not the same without Takeoff. This is a dude that structured different cadences, beats, hooks, ad-libs. Like, that shit was insane what he was doing for them. I didn't know he was that much a part of it. Y'all saw when Joe Budden and them asked them why y'all got left off Bad and Bougie?
Yeah.
Takeoff showed that chain and said, do it look like I've been left off Bad and Bougie? I don't see you wearing no shit like this. And you got a podcast every day, bruh. This ain't no uniform shit. This like Rick Ross calling Envy Beige Boy or some shit. So like, nah, it's got to be the Wu. But the Migos, close second, and probably would have took over their influence had they had enough time.
Dope. I like that answer, bro. Cal?
Thank you, because I wrote it in advance because I don't freestyle. So thank you.
So with this, since we're in this vein already, let me do a follow-up. 2 groups. You got to choose one.
Oh my God.
We got Outkast and Mobb Deep.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we here, man.
The fuck you gotta? Why do you have to choose one?
You gotta choose one. Choose like we gotta. Come on, brother. Come on.
You know, I was more influenced by the Mob myself.
Okay.
Because I couldn't imagine kids 19 putting together that album. I couldn't imagine kids 19 talking about murder and robbing motherfuckers and making Queens. When I went to Queens, I thought everything was okay, but clearly it wasn't, according to these gentlemen. There were problems in Queens, and they were always in there. So for me, I was like, damn, I don't know if I want to go to Queens. Maybe I do want to go to Queens. But I didn't really get influenced by Outkast until after the first album. The Southern Playalistic Cadillac shit was cool.
Yeah.
But when they did like AT Aliens and shit, I was like, whoa. And again, Mobb Deep wasn't making classic albums after that. They did Hell on Earth or something. Hell is Hot and Fire's Cold or some shit. And then after that, Outkast start really flourishing. So again, it's like, it's hard to do a versus battle. It's like if you ain't got the body of work, you can't do the versus battle. But I was more influenced by Mobb Deep. It wasn't really the lyrics, it was like the beats and the themes, the hood themes that I would never hear from hip hop. And then hip hop cats accepted the music. Like in the hip hop clubs, you would hear Mobb Deep. This was the most murder. This was the first drill music. I react, attack. Wasn't blessed with wealth, so I act like that. Drug dealing, only mess with shorties that's appealing. I'm fronting on the world once to start four-wheeling. We're back on the 41st side, we do it right. Sipping E&J, getting bent all night. Hey, who that? I never seen him in my whole life. I step to his business because it's only right. Whoa. Nigga that's in your neighborhood, you just don't recognize him and it's about to be a murder? Like, I understood that. I was in Chicago at the time. It was like 93, 94. I was like, oh shit, motherfuckers was riding to that. So I fuck with them. But Outkast had the bigger mark on culture, obviously. And none of them, the sum of all those MCs, Havoc, Prodigy, Big Boy, none of them could see Andre 3000 on nothing. His brain, he got one of them motherfuckers. He's different.
That's the clip. Thank you, Juice. Thank you, brother.
I mean, can't nobody fuck with bro.
Thank you.
Like the cadences and shit.
Mm-hmm.
He's remarkable. He's one of the people that I actually want to work with. I heard that he be feeling real down about his music and he's overthinking it. And I'm like, nigga, I'll light you up. Let's get it. So if I ever see you walking around Brooklyn, I'm gonna snatch you into a studio. We're gonna make it great. Big Boy training pit bulls. He don't give a fuck. But I still care about hearing some new Andre too. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Rest in peace, Prodigy.
Fine.
Go ahead, Rob.
Stay in that lane. We talked about how partly you grew up in Chicago, partly in LA. So give me your favorite LA rapper and the favorite Chicago rapper. And then who do you rank between the two? Who do you rank above the other?
My favorite LA rapper. It would probably be like, it's hard to say Snoop. It would probably be, for me, it would probably be Ice Cube. Because Ice Cube addressed a lot of the stuff that me and Ty was talking about. Ice Cube had storytelling. He had colorful wordplay. He had gangster shit. He came from NWA. He was writing for NWA. Like, and he took that shit to a legendary place. So as a rapper, like, you know, everybody tripping on lyricism and all that shit. Ice Cube had that too. He had a line where he said, if you got a gun, keep it in your glove compartment, because jackers, they love to start shit. And I was like, damn. Like, he had 4 and 5 syllable rhymes. But it's funny you mentioned my favorite rapper from Shy that everybody would probably know. Fuck, I don't know if it's Common or Twister, but it's probably Common. He influenced me, even though I tried to act all tough with my chest puffed out about the battle. Like, we're really good friends, and he influenced me. He did a podcast with Fat Joe where they was talking about me, and he just really influenced me a lot. Like, he did a song called "I Used to Love Her," like, where hip hop was a bad bitch and now she's tainted and he don't know if he want to keep fucking her. Like, that's some other shit too, but that's still along what Ty was saying about the conceptual shit. I like that kind of rap. I'm more of a Big Daddy Kane type, like swag rapper or whatever, Young M.A. type rapper, because she one of the guys, right? I'm more like that, but I do respect motherfuckers who get cerebral. So I would say them. And where would I put them over each other? I would say that Common is he's a better MC than Ice Cube, but Ice Cube might be equal on the storytelling side. Because out here on the West Coast, you don't have to worry about, like, you ain't not gonna get no coochie because you can't rhyme. It don't work like that. You got the right car, you got the right chain, you got a pistol, you gonna get some pussy. So Ice Cube didn't never care about that, but he could have did it. And if DOC was from the West Coast, shout out, I would have said it was him over Ice Cube, but he was from Texas. He just came out here to work with Dre. So that's all I can say on it.
Dope. Juice, I remember, this is my last joint, man. I remember when you battled Super Nat, man. My boy Chino XL, one of my favorite MCs of all time.
Oh my God.
He kicked a little freestyle for the crowd, right?
Yeah.
And then you battled Super Nat and you had a line, man. You told Super Nat, he can't get with me, yo. You better kick some stuff that's twice as ill as Chino. You know what I'm saying? I want to know if you can still kick it like that, brother. I want to know if you still got it like that, man.
Imagine watching Megan Rapinoe play soccer in her prime.
Right.
That's what I kick it like.
Okay. You bring any beats with you? Some stuff we can't get sued for?
I brought shit you can't get sued for. You know, okay. I got a few producers that's signed under that act and they real dope. So I'm gonna try to find something and then we'll see. We'll kill a few things and y'all tell me when to stop. And that's all I'm saying.
Bet.
Let me see what I got here. I don't even know what I got. I'm just playing random shit. Can y'all hear that all right?
Yeah.
Hey, look, it's 2023. Now I'm on a podcast talking about these dope rappers, all they fucking fraud ass. I be doing my thing. Car got a broad dash, old school like rich names. Call me Terry Snodgrass. How this motherfucker ever did it, you could ask Cal. Nigga, my reverse lights on, but I don't back down. Everybody freestyling. I'm about to rap now. Fucking flow is seniling. Rappers can't tack a pound. Plus I pack a pound like my nigga when he's selling them. I fuck with my felon friends and that's how I be be gelling in. Moving like Magellan, cause I'm straighter than the straighty from. Nigga, I've been doing this since 43, 81. You could add the difference, I think that's 30 years. Nigga, I am sick. I am happy that I'm straight here. Yeah, I'm real sick. I am Drexler, bring the Clyde out. Freestyle, maybe do a battle, then I'll ride out. That was just one time. Yeah, I'm about to back it out. Y'all probably want to tell your boy what to rap about. So we gonna do our thing. I fuck your girl and she on Sex Street. I'm about to change it, maybe switch you to the next beat. Holla at your boy. Alright, is that cool? We cool?
Yeah. Yeah, keep going. Yeah, keep going.
All right.
My brother was cooking.
Let me see what I got here. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm back and perturbed. When it's time for me to rap, you give me fat of the words. The fatter the words, the badder the verbs. I like the fourth round, cause that's the round that's always coming after the third. I'm a fucking spasmatic, freestyle to asthmatic. I done been back at it, I just cause rap magic. I am black magic, killing all these roaches. Niggas got teams, but I ain't feeling all these coaches. All I gotta do is just fuck around and yeah, I ball. Can't nobody really see me cause they dare to fall. If you understand how I really do this, you'll understand you're fucked up if I do prepare for y'all. This is shit that I do for fun. Subtraction like 2 for 1. Yeah, I went to school for a long time and stupid one. My brain is like insane. Insane in the membrane. Don't give a fuck of what your girl do, what your friend gain. I work it right. I got these motherfucking purple lights making me have a hue of purple when I work the mic. I turn your ass fucking burgundy and put your ass in emergency surgery purposely. They always say you can't write a song. All them rappers do is freestyle. They like to light a bomb. Nigga, ask Cash, can I rap? Ask Billboard. Heard your last freestyle and trust me, I am still bored. I'm the reason motherfuckers really have to chill for. Peace to my nigga Phil Green, they call him Fillmore. Anyway, I'm about to take the next beat cause I was just freestyle. The crazy motherfucker go and see now. It's me now, Jay. Alright?
Hey, Juice, this next round, can you mind if we throw you some words?
Throw him.
Okay.
I'll catch him.
Bet.
All right, what we talking about though? Let me see. I'll play the beat, then you.
Let's go artificial intelligence to start off.
Oh my God. See, now you're trying to get me. I put you in the past, participle irrelevant. When it's time for me to rap, I just get to the prevalent. A lot of rappers spit with the relevant. The participle means I'm artificial. You should see my intelligence. And don't interrupt with another word before I rap. A lot of people see me type it in, but they ignoring that. You know how it is, I straight get it out. Sick of mouth, tell me the topic, type it in, and I'm gonna spit it out. I might do it for you, show your longitude and latitude, the batter dude. But don't you give me that AI attitude. Tell me I should lose weight. You know me in 2 states. I'm kinda like Allstate, hand together, food great. Yup, these are topics that I hope that y'all ask about. Take the rapping route. When it's time, I'm never capping out. No, I don't cap like a starter hat. I'm just trying to be in the quantum. I'm a part of that. So ask me a question. I'ma give you the answer. I'm like C3, I overthink and I'm a cancer. July 10th with it. Yeah, I saw that fucking interview. I could do some shit no other rapper could pretend to do. What's the next word?
Erykah Badu.
Jesus. Yeah. Okay. I mean, when you talk about Erykah, mean thighs in the Erykah. I mean the area, green eyes in America. Pretty ass girl, with your life you fucking rambling and gambling. I heard my homie said she went to Grambling. I was down south in Louisiana doing my thing, showing Master P my greasy grammar. I ain't really meet her, but I tried to see on campus. She the baddest girl, motherfucker, ain't no traps here. Yeah, she had Andre, she even had the common route. That's why she's probably a girl I want to rap about. Plus she real sick, and you know that she a baddie. Wow, she used to kind of be slim, but now she got a fatty now. Plus she real sick, and you know I'm finna get you with the slaughter. I done seen her in the world taking pictures with her daughter. They both got fatties, my God. I mean, it's 2 on 2. I bring my friend, I fuck them both, and I don't know who to choose. I love you so much for everything that you did for us. When everybody was rapping, you stayed splendiferous. You know how it is. I'm fucking down the flow. The world's spinning, round and round we go. Holla, nigga.
Okay. So,
all I don't know.
I said I'm gonna come up
You
with
got,
the
you
hardest
got
word.
one more beat, Juice?
What?
You got one more beat?
One more beat. Whatever y'all want, man. We doing it.
All right, let's
This is
get
what
it,
we
man.
do.
Y'all type y'all words in the comments, bro. Type your words in the comment.
Put your words in the comments. Whoever's in the chat.
Yeah,
Comments,
y'all in the chat. Put your words in the comments. If y'all in the chat, put your words in the comments so y'all can understand the fucking freestyles that I'm in. People don't understand the way that fucking I went. I'm kind of like the cement. I've always been obstinate. I'm kind of real clumsy, so I'm glad y'all let me drop my shit. Everybody think that they the best, but they the opposite. I'm telling you, I'm sick and I'm moving when it's game time. I'm kind of like strange fruit, plus I got a strange mind. Can't nobody fuck around with particles, arrange mine and do my thing, especially when it's time for me to gain time. My voice a little bit raspy. Does anybody have a fucking topic they should ask me? Huh? I'm not sure of it, but I swear whoever's the best, I'm most pure of it. I don't know the deal. I'm just trying to rap too much. That shit is overkill. Or maybe I should talk about putting the gloves on. Or maybe this beat sounds like a love song. I'm going to change it to the next because I don't know the beats. I need something I know is sweet. Let me see.
I mean,
Last
Phil
one.
in the comment guy, his topic was gas prices. Then we got the Chicago Bears right after that.
All right. Yeah. My boy was at a shell. The gas prices was high as hell. All he did was sell drugs. I'm talking buy and sell. And he made a lot of money because he had his clientele. He couldn't believe 7 for a gallon of that premium. He knew I had them flows. He said, I'm so glad you creaming them. He knew I had them bad bitches. Yeah, I always be with them. Kind of like that girl that you always see with dreaming them. Anyway, you know about the pretty light-skinned one that I'm talking about. Showed me his receipt, $100 he was walking out. And that was just to fill up a G-Wagon. You should see me bragging in a Volkswagen with my folks tagging. Anyway, we doing our thing. That was a rare aim. I ain't know about the bad bitches that he could dare name. 81 is 9 if you swear game. So we had the soldier fielded, headed to the Bears game. It was kind of sick, cause you know that it was fucking real. Everybody thought that they was shy, but I was touching ill. They be saying nothing right, they be saying nothing real. I'm running through these dudes, you would have thought that I was Justin Fields. This is how I am, nigga, please, I'm a believer. This was me running the field with no running back receivers. This is all me, trying to do my thing, cause I'm a draft pick. Plus I'm in the end zone, legs up, that's your last bitch. Oh, you got me fucked up. Yeah, she just a bust down. Put that shit right between that pussy, that's a touchdown. You could go on WhatsApp, the who's, where's, the what's now, the whys and the wins. When it's time for me to touch down, the greatest ever did it. Anyway, that tank cost me so much. I'm old school like Cold Crush, I can't wait to blow up. I'm glad we got a draft pick, trade the number 1 pick. This season gonna be something we have fun with. Shout out to the Red Zone.
Yes, sir. Yes,
That was
sir.
fire.
Hey, Juice,
Yes, sir.
yeah. You can cut the beat, brother.
Yeah, I'm coming. I know the content game.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, it was love.
Crazy. Still get down, man. Dang.
Man.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Hey, Juice, this has been an honor and a pleasure, bro. Thank you for rolling up, man. I just need to tell you, brother, how influential that battle was. Listening to you and Supernatural back in the day on CD, me and my friends bent over smoking weed, and it got our minds thinking, you know what I'm saying? Like we was in that lyricism bag, man. That was the first real battle I heard, you know what I'm saying, being from Kansas, you know what I'm saying? So you turned me onto a whole other world. If it wasn't for that battle, bro, I don't know if I'd be watching the Blaze battles and the URLs and the King of the Dots, you know what I'm saying? So just heavily influential in that manner. And just shout out to you, bro, for just being active and continue to push your pen, man, and being creative and still having your name out there and getting paid for what you love to do, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's just dope to have you on the platform, man. We're honored, bro.
Thank y'all. I just want to say a quick shout out to 606 Chapter 4. Y'all know I'm in the house. Hey, Bozak, we doing it just like we always did. And shout out to everybody who listening. I'm gonna try to get every ear I can on it, every eye I can on it. So thank y'all so
Appreciate
much.
you.
And I look forward to seeing y'all again soon.
Absolutely, man.
Cal,
Salute,
you
Juice.
deep. All right. Peace.
Be safe, man. Be
Yep.
safe.
Love.
All right, bro.
Yep.